Yes, thank you, Madam Chair and committee, for your time today. My name is Nate Owen, and I represent myself, and I am a resident of El Paso County. I believe that one of my representatives is actually here with us today. Thank you, Senator Pelton, for being here. So today I'm here to ask for a yes vote on 23-1065. I've watched some of the concerns that my party had with this bill during the House floor on Saturday. While I understand them, many of the concerns that they address are small in compared to the stakes of not passing this bill. Ethics are complex and require critical thinking. The IEC already exists, and there have already been set with precedents. When the committee screens before investigating different complaints, they are doing part of their job to even see if that complaint should be investigated further. We talk about the frivolous and the non-frivolous complaints. Even when the complaints are not investigated, it is important to note that every voice is getting heard, and I think that is super important to let the citizens know that their voice is being heard. Some of those that have opposed this bill have shared concerns about the volunteers being subjected to public scrutiny. Since school board volunteers and officials are indeed volunteers who may or may not have a full understanding of ethical implications of their behavior, the need for the checks and balances are even more important. As a testimony in the House recognized, there's a serious gap in school board accountability due to the independent and local control we value in Colorado. Without practical, affordable remedies with school boards, districts, and officials take questionable action. Passing this bill will bring a much-needed checks and balances that has been described all the way back to our founding forefathers. Right now, in the school district where I choose to send my children, the interim superintendent was previously a board member in Jefferson County. He was recalled due to his behavior, and at one point he flaunted this gap in an oversight by publicly challenging the IEC to investigate him. Obviously, they could not do that because the IEC does not currently have that jurisdiction over school boards. I have direct and indirect knowledge of questionable activities that community members would like to have a third party look into to ensure that school boards are acting ethically. In many cases, the involvement of the IEC will help resolve escalating conflicts in communities across Colorado, and that needs to be our checks and balances that our great country prides itself on. Even though they're not—
Mr. Owen? Yeah, do you have any last comment?
Yeah, just 2 more sentences.
Go right ahead.
If these public elected officials cannot be ethical, I really don't want them serving in these important roles that are leading their fellow community members. Colorado has made it an obligation, and they do have an obligation to its children to mitigate risks when it comes to the accountability of school boards and other elected officials.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Owen. We appreciate it. Hang out and see if there's more questions. Last witness then, possibly Logan Ruths.
Madam Chair, committee members, thank you for the opportunity to provide my input and experience. My name is Logan Ruths. I am 26 years old, a Colorado native, and a product of the Woodland Park School District in Teller County, with maybe a little influence from my incredible family. I additionally worked for the district for approximately 2 years as technology support, the network administrator, and records custodian. As the records custodian, I had an insider's perspective of how the Woodland Park Board has deliberately worked to subvert laws and policies, including the Colorado Open Records Act. I spoke up and pushed back against these constraining practices. That is until March 10th, 2023, when I was blindsided with a meeting in which I was informed I no longer had a job and that my position was, quote, being consolidated into other roles, unquote. In the month of January 2023 alone, I worked 118 hours of overtime beyond my typical 40-hour week. Elected officials at all levels should answer to the public they represent. Colorado communities and public school districts staff currently have no timely recourse to comprehensively address questionable actions by unchecked school boards. This is not an abstract or hypothetical issue. It has already occurred in several Colorado districts and is currently happening in Woodland Park. House Bill 1065 fills in the accountability gap for the people of Colorado who see their elected officials engaging in alarming or even potentially illegal activities. House Bill 1065 isn't something you should debate about supporting. There should be no debate over whether House Bill 1065 is acceptable. The only inquiry around this subject from any well-informed elected official should be, how do we ensure that every citizen are able to hold all of their elected representatives accountable? If you claim to be pro-democracy, yet vote to prevent communities and individuals from submitting ethics complaints against corrupt elected officials, you are not pro-democracy. Thank you for your attention and your yes vote on House Bill 1065.
Thank you, Mr. Ruths. Your testimony is very important to us. We appreciate you. I just want to thank the sponsor for this bill. Obviously, the school district that we heard from in testimony has been in the news a lot and problematic, so thank you for trying to take this on. I think we're ready for the vote.
Senators Gonzalez,
Aye.
Pelton B,
Respectfully, no.
Pelton R,
Aye.
Rich,
No.
Roberts,
Aye.
Exum,
Aye.
Madam Chair.
Aye. That passes 5-2.